So, can you briefly share your experience on this assignment? It's open-ended.
Like on what I learned
Yeah,
with the history or the techniques?
both. You could.
So I learned
Mm-hmm.
that King Sejong had good intentions with making Hangul,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to make his country better.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned the timeline on how the timeline on how when they used Hangul and when they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it was they first used Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
the Chinese written system, then they created Hangul
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Japan
We were
invaded,
always independent. We just did
well,
not
no,
have.
like
Yeah.
they didn't have their own.
Yeah. Okay.
So they didn't have their own. So they
Mhm.
created Hangul,
Mm-hmm.
and then once it was like 1910, Japan
Mhm.
invaded,
Mm-hmm.
and they were forced to use the Japanese written system.
Mm-hmm.
Then after World War II, they made their official writing language as Hangul.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things that I learned from like techniques
Mhm.
is how to use MLA citing,
Mm-hmm.
how to write in MLA style form,
Mm-hmm.
how to correctly cite your sources.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
So, first, what's the website that we use to create your work site?
It was
I think this is also, if you go to the Purdue University, that there's this citation machine. Why it doesn't show?
you don't have Chrome. I do.
Oh, that's why. Okay. So it has to be have a Chrome? I cannot use it on Safari? Select all? No, not all. And then let's go a little more detailed. So once you have all the list of it, we had to get a little help from Miss Jones. So do you remember on Google Doc, what was the first step?
So you have to go to Format,
You have to go to Format and,
and then you're gonna have to press Align and Indent.
uh-huh,
After that, you're gonna go
uh-huh,
all the way down to indentation options,
uh-huh,
and then you're gonna where it says none, you're gonna press hanging,
uh-huh.
and then make sure it's
then-
at 0.5,
okay.
and then you're gonna press
Apply. Okay, very good. So what was the things that we learned when it comes to order? Can I just cite whatever
No, it has
I
to be
want?
alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order. Okay. What if the website does not contain the writer's name? What do we do?
You do.
3 words, such as these were the examples, right?
Yeah.
And then don't forget the quotation mark. Okay? And then what else did we learn? When you add pictures, figures, or tables,
You
a
need to
chart.
do like 1.1 to make sure that
So,
that's like the
so
one we're talking
least.
about.
So in this particular assignment, we have only one figure
Mhm.
to share, but if you have a multiple, you don't want to keep saying
This
the-
picture.
Yeah, this picture. So that's how you communicate with your audience, leaders of your work. I think we forgot L here. And then one skill that you also learn, this is not actually part of the MLA, the requirement, but it's a good skill to have. So now you know how to embed your link, right?
Yeah.
And what other things we learn? What other things we learn?
Punctuation.
Punctuation. We talk about comma, semicolon, and colon. And then we talk about what other things?
Adverbs and adjectives.
Adverbs and adverb versus adjectives, and then what other things? try to avoid like they.
Oh, those words are like there and it's.
Okay, there is instead of there's, or
Yeah.
it is no contraction. You
Yeah.
try not to like, shorten. So if you want to say I am, and you say I am, not I'm, okay, something like that. And overall, what was the most important lesson? Last part, if you want to share with anyone, what was the most important lesson from this experience, and what was the most meaningful thing for you personally?
Meaningful is like learning Korea's a part of Korea's history,
Okay.
and then the important was like learning experience on how to write an MLA format.
Good. I have a comment to make. I think you did a really, really good job. I am glad that we have this work together, because if we didn't have this one-to-one setting, maybe if you keep just reading and browsing, and some teacher probably think, okay, he's not doing anything. But I know that you are a critical thinker, and then you have questions, you just need more time of browsing. So I was really, really glad that we have that structure here. With traditional school setting, it's really hard to get that part. And I really think you always bring really good questions and challenge yourself and even me. And then your articulation for each document was really, really good. And I think you should be proud. You got this. Okay. Any other comment you want to make?
No.
Good. Okay. Okay. So